This is Module 1, Lesson 24, titled Percent and Rates per 100. The goals of this lesson: I can describe a percent as a part-to-whole ratio where the whole is 100. And I can model percents and write percents as a fraction over 100 or a decimal in the hundredths place. As always, pause the video whenever you need to. Watch the parts again however many times you need to, and make sure you take good notes throughout. We're going to talk a lot in this lesson about percents. And what a percent is it's a ratio. Even though we write a percent, like for example, we would write, let's say we got an 85% on a test. That is considered a ratio. It's automatically comparing 85 out of 100. 100 is always the whole when we talk about a percent. And if you think about it, let's say you got every question, you got the whole test correct. You get 100%. So we're going to compare ratios and percents, and also we're going to throw in decimals and fractions in there as well throughout this lesson. Let's take a look at example number 1. It says Rob's fruit farm consists of 100 acres on which 3 different types of apples grow. On 25 acres, the farm grows Empire apples. Macintosh apples grow on 30% of the farm. The remainder of the farm grows Fuji apples. Shade in the grid below to represent the portion of the farm each type of apple occupies. Use a different color for each type of apple. So let's first highlight the information that we're given here. Okay, his farm has 100 acres. That's the total. That's the whole. 25 acres, he grows Empire apples. Macintosh grow on 30% of the farm, and the remainder of the farm gets Fuji apples. Now, if we look at this grid here, this is what we're going to use to model this farm in the percents. This is what we call a 10 by 10 grid. It has a length of 10 units and a width of 10 units, which makes a square that has 100 little squares in it. Each of those squares in this particular example is going to represent 1 acre of his farm. Let's make up a key. Let's say that the red acre, or the Empire apples, the acres those grow on are going to be colored red. The Macintosh apples are going to be grown on acres that are going to be colored blue. And the Fuji apples will be on acres that are colored green in this model. So if we go back, it says on 25 acres grows Empire apples. Remember, each square represents an acre. So let's color in 25 of those. Those represent the Empire apples. 30% of the farm was grown on grows Macintosh apples. Now 30% means 30 out of 100. So 30 of these we're going to color blue. And then it said the remainder of the farm grows Fuji apples. Those are going to be the green. So let's color those green. Now, we need to write a part-to-whole ratio for each of those. The Empire apples were grown on 25 acres. 25 acres out of 100. 25 is the part that grows Empire apples out of 100 total acres. The Macintosh was 30%. 30% means 30 out of 100. So we have a ratio of 30 to 100. And the remainder of it was the green, the Fuji apples. If you count them up, there's 45 of those there. 45 to 100 would be the part to whole ratio of each of those. The last thing I want to mention is the percents that each would be. The red would be 25% of the farm, because 25% means 25 out of 100. The blue, 30%, and the green, 45% of the farm.